Hello?
Hi, Theodora.
Hi, are you and the lieutenant on the call?
Yes, he's on his way up now.
Okay. And so I just wanted to start by asking you, did anybody contact you from the police department on Friday?
No, I was not here on Friday.
I understand that you weren't there, but did anybody contact you on your personal phone while you're on your day off or reach out to you at all on Friday?
Not that I know of.
Okay, because I feel like this is really, really negligent on the end of, the New Britain Police Department. And did anyone tell you anything about what happened Friday?
I just got in this morning. I haven't had a chance to talk to anyone.
Okay. And then when we last spoke, it was the day of the forensic, which was March 3rd.
Correct.
And on that day, you said, reach out to me. Maybe we can set up an appointment for you to come down to like the station on that following week and sit down with me, supervisor. And you said maybe even the state's attorney to talk about this. And you said because they have more authority.
I said not. I didn't mean me, you in person with the state's attorney. I meant I could go over it with the state's attorney should I get more information.
So it's not possible for the state's attorney to have a meeting with us and me involved? Because I thought that as the victim, I thought that as the legal guardian of the victim of a sexual abuse crime, that I have the right to speak to the prosecutor during a criminal investigation, and that's what my federal and state rights are.
If we have probable cause for a
Well,
crime.
okay. So are you saying that you don't think there's probable cause for a crime?
At this time, I do not have probable cause.
How do you not have probable cause?
I don't have a disclosure. I am talking to Matthew tomorrow. I haven't talked to Dom yet at this time.
So I'm sorry, but that's the first problem. The first wrong thing is you saying you don't have a disclosure. When we spoke, I gave you all those videos. Did you look at any of them?
Yes, I did. I watched every single.
And how many of them did you watch?
All six.
I sent you almost 15.
Okay, well, I only got 6.
Okay, so that's the other problem. That's the other reason why I wanted to come in person, which I still want to be able to have an opportunity to do that today. Because the thing is that, so you said that you only reviewed 6 videos.
Correct.
Can you just confirm which ones they are?
Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull them up out of the case file. Okay, so I have video 10, video 1.
I'm sorry. Can you slow down? What's the first one?
Video 10.mov.
That's the name of the file that I sent?
Correct.
So 10.mov.
Yep.
Okay.
Video 11.mov.
All right.
Video 12.mov.
Mm-hmm.
Video 13.mov.
Okay.
Video 15.mov.
Okay.
Video _1.mov.
And what dates were those sent?
February 13th was the date it says modified. Hang on.
And how
I
were...
have to go back to my email to see what day they were sent.
Okay, because I'm just trying to see which ones you actually did get and review so that I can make sure to give them on the hard drive that I'm going to drop off. Or is the lieutenant there yet or no?
Not yet. I'm going to text him to see if he's on his way out.
Okay.
What you could do is if you want to put every single one on a hard drive.
But here's the thing. I don't have a hard drive. He said you would supply me with one.
Sorry, a USB drive.
He said that the New Britain Police Department would supply me with one if I come down there with my computer.
Okay, we could do that.
Okay, so
just put every single one on a USB drive.
Okay, and can I just talk for just 1 second and just please ask you to just listen for just 1 second, not cut me off and just hear me out as a mother who's really begging you to help. And I feel like you were understanding of me and listened, and I just want you to really just please, like, can you just give me a few minutes to just like say what I have to say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we spoke on February 11th, and on that day, you told me that you spoke to Matthew and you informed him that you were going to be interviewing his son for these allegations of sexual abuse, correct?
I asked if I could interview his son.
And what did he say?
He was cooperative. He agreed to it and said we could schedule something at a later time after Angelina had her interview.
And didn't he say that he was a little nervous about you interviewing Dominic also?
He seemed like he didn't want to upset Dominic. I'm not sure why, but then he eventually came around and was like, I'd like to speak with you first, and then we could set something up for Dominic.
Okay, and on that same day of February 11th when we spoke, it was a Saturday, and you called me back after you talked to Matthew, and that was the same day that you were out for the entire week on training, and then you said you came on that day to go answer emails to get caught up with work, remember?
Correct.
And then you called me back after you called Matthew, and you said to me, I told Matthew I plan to interview Dominic and him. I told him that, he's going to have to, whether Dominic's nervous or not, it's going to happen regardless. And I told him he needs to stop telling the child that she's going to be going there on Friday because this is an active investigation. And mother already told you that she's not sending the child. And that was the reason why, was because I complained to you saying, he keeps bothering on during these calls saying, oh, I'll see you Friday, I'll see you Friday, I'll see you Friday. Do you remember all that?
I explained to him that if these comments were being made, if those were things that he was saying, that you had, alleged he was making these disparaging comments, to just stay away from that and continue what he's doing, talking about Angelina only through the Family Wizard app. I also did not demand to him that Dominic will come down and talk to me, as Dominic is a juvenile, as well as him being his father. They have their civil rights. They have the right to refuse to talk to police. But I did request, I strongly urged him, I said, it is very important that you do come speak with me, so I think it would help you. And he agreed.
Okay, so, and then, but do you recall me telling you and complaining to you that Matthew was messaging me saying, make sure the child gets brought to my mom's on Friday, and telling the child, I'll see you Friday, I'll see you Friday, during the calls, as part of what I was saying was disparaging. Like, that was one of the things I talked to you about. Do you remember me, like, and then that was why part of what, when you were saying disparaging, like, that's why I was saying it was disparaging, because I'm telling him, hey, this is an investigation. Stop telling her she's coming. You already know she's not coming. I told you that. And then you were like, I'll talk to him. I'll call him. And then after, you were like, oh, I tried to smooth it over a little with him, and he was receptive, and he was nice about it. And you told me that he said that, he agrees that it's in the best interest of Angelina to stay with me. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so, so what, that's like a key part of this. 'Cause like, what did he say in that regard? Like he said literally that, like, I agree that it's in her best interest while this investigation is open for the child to stay with the mom.
I actually told him it was in his best interest to have Angelina, while DCF has their investigation open, to kind of steer clear from any issues that might arise, and to just continue what he's doing as far as communicating through the app.
Yeah, but you also told me that he agreed that it's in her best interest to stay with me, because you told him, I said, me, my lawyer, DCF, everybody was saying it's in the best interest of the child to stay with me until further notice, because you shouldn't be going for weekend visits to stay overnight and be babysat by Dominic while he's under investigation. Are we in agreement of that? Or do you think it's okay for her to still have weekend visits with her alleged abuser during an open, active criminal investigation of a suspect that has not even yet sat down for his first interview with police?
I am going to say this. I can't do anything when it comes to custody.
I know, but I'm asking you a question. I know, but I asked you to please, like, I just asking you a question because, like, this is so important. You have no idea what I went through the last couple of days, okay? And, like, honestly, if you weren't there, if you were there, this would not have happened. I'm telling you. Like, I just feel like everything got misconstrued and nobody's, like, understanding, like, what's going on. Do you think that it's okay that Dominic babysat her for 12 hours on Saturday?
I will agree with you. I don't think it's okay while he's still being investigated. I would hope someone was there with him. I would agree.
No. He wasn't there. He wasn't there. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's like, you guys don't even know all this. So it's like, basically, I know we don't have a lot of time. I really, really want to see if we can, me and you, even if just me and you, have another meeting where I can come sit down with you in person at your place at this station when you have more time, at least an hour of your time, please, to sit down and talk about this more. I can come down today after we're done talking. I know you have to go, but after we're done talking, I can come down and give them the videos and have Per Savage give me the flash drive to get all those so that you can review them. I'll make sure I look at the ones you said you already got, because again, I have like 57 videos and you said you got 6 and I sent you like 15. So like it's not your fault if the thing is sending the videos back and the messages are too big and all of that. But I think it's very, very crucial that in order for you to do your job and do your investigation, you need this evidence. You need this because, you know, every video discloses more and more and more. So now, just to bring you up to speed, after the last forensic, which again, I'm just saying what my opinion is, and after speaking to an attorney and everything like that, the fact that the child described to you through all these videos leading up to the forensic, if you watch every single one of the videos leading up to the forensic that I have, which you might have not watched them all, but if you watch all of them and then you watch the forensic and you see what she said and you look at the exact language my daughter used, she describes being sexually abused. I looked at the statute. It says that clothing is not required, and as long as buttocks makes contact with the genital area, which if somebody's straddling you with your butt up in the air, that is butt to genital contact. And that's what she described during this last second forensic. And you're saying that doesn't count as a disclosure. Well, I disagree. And I think that's what I want you to speak to the state's attorney about. And I wanted to know if you had a chance to even talk to the state's attorney yet. And so basically then, when you told me that you talked to him on February 11th and you told me he agreed that, you know, it's in her best interest to stay with me while this is going on because she shouldn't be coming for these visits or whatever. And then DCF said the same thing, like it's in her best interest. Everyone said the same thing. So I said, okay, well, and then when people are like, well, you know, are you considering getting like a emergency ex parte order of custody? I said, well, no, because the child's with me. She's safe. There's no emergency because she's not going there. If he tried to go take her, then that would be an emergency. And everyone agreed. And so like I continued for 6.5 weeks from January 30th until from January 30th until March 10th. Angelina did not go with her father. I did not send her to the weekly visits that were said I'm supposed to drop off at her grandma's house on Fridays. And I made it very clear to him, after I told you he was ignoring me, telling him I'm not bringing her and bothering me about it, you made it clear to him as well that the child's not coming there. Stop telling her. You told me he said he agreed that it was in her best interest. So, you know, whether or not he changed his mind or not, that's what he said on February 11th that you told me he said. So it's like, okay, in that case, we're all in agreement here. Why would I then, what am I going to say to the court? Oh, well, I still want an emergency order just because I feel like in case, like the court's not going to say that's an emergency. So I said, if he does take her or try to show up somewhere and take her and grab her, that'll be an emergency. And then, you know, we did the forensic, all the stuff. I'm continuing to get more disclosures, recording more. And then it's like frustrating when I'm trying to send it to you guys and then it gets sent to my trash because New Britain will send something to the trash and not even let you know that it didn't get sent. So like that right there is like concerning that you guys like don't have the ability to even accept the file. And then I'm like not even aware that no one got it because then I just happened to look in the trash and see that message. So, you know, I feel like that was like one thing where if you had seen all these videos and going into such great detail and then watch the forensic, which I think you should watch again after watching all these videos, that watch all the stuff she said in the videos prior to the forensic and then the forensic, all of that together shows a disclosure. And if you still don't think so, after the forensic on Friday, on that Saturday, Sunday, and other times throughout the following week, the child made brand new disclosures. And, I'm sorry, hold on one second. The child said to me, and I have all of this on video. Child said to me that Dominic would, because she said that, you know, they talked about, are the pants down or are the pants up? And she said, oh, the pants are on. And I said, okay, but what about while he's doing it? And she said, then his pants are down. And I said, what about your pants? She says, they're down. I said, who pulls them down, you or him? She says, me. She says, oh, he told me to pull them down. And she basically says that he pulls down his pants, she pulls down her pants. Then while he's sitting on her and humping her, like she's motioning and demonstrating, she said his pants are off. And I said, well, what? And then all of this is me asking her on video, and she's saying it. And so it's like, then she's like, oh, I said to her, what when he's what does he do when he puts his pants off, like, and where does he put his what does he put his body on, whatever, like where does he sit? And she's like, oh, like my private area, like my vagina. And then she's like pointing to her vagina, and I said, what does he put, and what about him? And she's like, oh, he puts his private parts on my vagina. And she's all like smiling, a little like bashful, shy to even say it. And so it's like, this is all stuff that she said to me after the last forensic. So regardless of whether or not you think that forensic was a disclosure or not, we're now getting new information that we've never heard before about pants being pulled up and down, her literally saying that he was using private parts and vagina and all this stuff. And again, my child's getting a little bit older. She's developing more. She's almost 4 now versus when she...
Yeah, Theodora,
yes.
Let me, because a lot's being thrown at me. Let me ask you, and I mean this
I'm sorry, can I please, I know it's a lot, but if you just give me 2 minutes, please, and then I'll let you say whatever you want to say. Please, let me finish. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Because you seem very upset. So what is it that you're upset about? The investigation isn't closed.
If you please, I know, but it's like you're interrupting me to ask me while I'm upset, and I'm begging you to just let me finish, please. Like,
you did the same to me a little while ago, but go ahead.
I know. I'm just like, can you please try to like put yourself in my shoes? I'm a mother. My daughter means everything to me. I know that.
I don't blame. I get that. I totally get that. I don't blame you for that.
Please, like, I just wanted just you to hear me out. Okay. So I'm just trying to remember what I was saying before you interrupted now. So she's saying about, the naked bodies, how he's pulling the pants on. Then I said, what about when he's done? She said, then he pulls his pants back up. All of this is in the videos that I can drop off today. Then after that, she starts saying to me like, oh, well, actually, like, then like after she's like, actually, no. Oh, no, never mind, or whatever. Like trying to say like, oh no, actually, no, it didn't. And I'm like, Angelina, it's really important that you need to tell the truth. You can't lie. If you lie, you're going to go in timeout. And like, I want her to understand, like, this is serious, that she needs to tell me the truth about things, and that lying is not okay. And I'm not going to, like, I don't want her to think she can lie. And I want her to truly understand what lying means and that it's not good. So then after that, I recorded again after when I sat down with her. I said, look, like, come here, come sit down with me. I'm going to talk to you. And like, she almost like, if she saw that my phone was out, it was like she was like looking and peeking her head. So I kind of just put it like to the side. So it was like she couldn't really see it. And then I was like just holding her, like talking to her, and she started like telling me more. And like she was opening up to me, and I said, like, tell me the truth. And she said what she said the first time about how he was doing it with the clothes off and putting his privates on her privates and all this stuff. And like, she never said this before. She just said he does this and grinds the toy. But now she's using more language, telling me that he's taking his clothes off and pulling his pants down and pulling her pants down. Because again, if you ask a child if their clothes are on and their pants are pulled down, if the child could say yes to that, because your clothes are on. So it's like kids they answer literal sometimes, and it's like confusing for them. So then she went even further, because I mentioned to this, I don't know if you remember, I mentioned to you early on in the investigation that I know the brand and type of cameras that he has in his home. And I told you that I know that he has multiple cameras throughout the home. And I saw them myself when he showed me his phone when we were at church. He was sitting right next to me, and he even was speaking to the camera to talk to the kids to scare them while he was watching. And he told me to even do it. And I was just like, said, hey, what are you doing? And the kids just jumped. Then Matt starts laughing, thinking it's hilarious. So I saw myself, the cameras on his phone with my own hand touching the phone. Then I know that these cameras have these cloud storage where you could potentially, store for a year or longer, and you pay $100 a year for that. So I asked you in the beginning, like, hey, could we ask for all and any and all? Can we subpoena any and all of his camera records? And you said if we could pinpoint something down, or if because of his rights, he can't just ask for all his footage, but if you pinpointed down like a certain dates or certain incidents, then we could potentially ask for that. So I said, okay, whatever. And then so I have the same cameras at my home. And now I've been having this thing where Angelina's been doing this thing where she humps and grinds on her stuffed animals. And then I say, what are you doing? And she's like, doing what Dom does. I'm doing what Dom does. Like, so she's been doing this and if I like walk in the room and I catch her doing it, she'll like immediately stop doing it. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, nothing. It's like she's starting to like realize like and be shamed about it and then say, I wasn't doing anything. But then it's like, I'll be like, tell me the truth. And she'll be like, okay, I was doing the thing Dom does to me. I'm like, why? She's like, because Dom does it. And like then the other day after the disclosure, when she was doing it, she's like, I'm doing what Dom does. And then before the last forensic, she was saying the thing that Dom does to me. But now after the forensic, she says, oh, I'm sitting on Mousy the way that Dom sits on me. So it's like, she's using the term sit because that's what they said to her during the forensic. And so it's like, okay, if a child pulls his pants down, if a 16-year-old boy pulls his pants down and a 3-year-old girl pulls her pants down, and then he sits on top of her with his penis making contact with her vagina, or his penis making contact with her butt, as she's describing, that is sexual assault, 4th degree. And the fact that Matthew now knows about it, and he knew about it and he chose to do nothing, is risk of injury. And I'm saying this because this other day, this is all after the forensic as well, I was actually taking a bath in my house and Angelina was in the other room playing. And like, I had a camera in like the living room and she was playing in like the dining room that's like off of the living room. And she was like, I heard her making some weird noises and like I'm in the bathtub. And so like I like, didn't want to get up out of the bath. So I just like I can't see what she's doing on the camera, but she could hear me and I could hear her if I talked to her from the one in the living room. So I just went on the mic on the one in the living room. I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, oh, nothing. And like she just kept getting all like defensive. And I'm like, what do you mean nothing? And then she's like, oh, nothing. And like I suspected that she was doing that because I heard her making weird noises and stuff. And she's like, oh, well, I was doing this and I was doing the thing that Dom does. And so then I like got out of the shower, got up, went in the living room, and then I started recording her. And I said like, well, what were you doing? And blah, blah, blah. And like because she started talking about it. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not like sitting her down saying and questioning her. If she starts talking about it or doing the behavior or anything, if it just randomly starts saying or doing it.
Theodora,
yeah.
I hate to cut you off, but I do have to walk out in 1 minute. So why don't we do this? I will be here tomorrow all day.
Aren't we getting 2 feet of snow? Aren't we getting 2 feet of snow?
Well, I'll be here. So you do what you want. If not, you can come in on Wednesday. But
is there any way to to do the videos without coming there like that, like Google Drive? Like, is there any other way that we could do it? Okay, so if I come to, will your lieutenant be there today to retrieve my videos if I come drop them off and be able to, he give me the flash drive to put them on? But even, can we arrange that? But I want to make sure we finish talking before you do anything else because like I didn't get to finish talking. So can we talk more tomorrow? What time can we set a phone call meeting time? Well, can you at least call me back today at some point, or can I just finish talking to you because I didn't even get to tell you about what the emergency was. Can you call me before you talk to Matthew? Can you call me before? So you can't call me before you talk to Matthew tomorrow? She hung up. Are you there?
That's crazy. Yeah. Jesus, that is nuts.
She hung up.